Let's now go into creating lessons. Lessons are the real bulk of what we have on Blickel, and you're going to be surprised at the number of ways that we can make a lesson really enhance a student's education. As a reminder, programs, courses, and units are basically just containers. You don't have to use all of them in order to structure your content. Basically, they're containers so that we can organize where to put lessons and tests and quizzes. Lessons and tests and quizzes can be attached at any level, so we can attach them to a program, a course, or a unit. Let's go ahead and create a lesson. We're not going to go through all of the things we can do with a lesson in one video, but some of this should already look familiar. First, we can give our lesson a name, so I'm going to call this example lesson. In addition, we can assign our lesson to any contents that we have access to. So I'm going to go ahead and put this lesson straight up at the top and put it inside of our example program. All right, we can upload an icon if we would like, and so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to use the same mountain again that we used previously. And remember that once we've selected our icon, we need to go ahead and upload it as well. So I'm going to do that. And it'll let me know that it's accepted. As usual, we have choices of what level of publicity we want our content to have. I'm going to go ahead and make this a public lesson. All right, we then have the ability to allow comments on our lesson or not. I'm going to go ahead and uncheck this for now so that we can just see what the lesson looks like without any comments. All right, so those are the basic minimums we need for our lesson. Now, the idea of a lesson, you can kind of think of it as being like a PowerPoint with various slides. The way it works is you have one slide of your lesson in one grid like this. And so you can notice that we start with just one grid. And I'm just going to make a one-part lesson just so you can see the bare basics of what a lesson looks like. I'm going to make this an information part, which I will explain in the next lesson. The only thing that is required for a lesson is this lesson part title. And so I'm just going to call this part 1. All right, and I'm going to leave the rest of the lesson blank. That is the minimum that is required for us to create a lesson. We technically do not need to add a lesson icon, but I went ahead and did. I'm also going to attach a summary. Now, this summary is important for lessons. It's more important than maybe summaries for programs, courses, or units, because this summary will appear on social media networks. So if you share your lesson onto a social media company like Facebook or Twitter, or even if you post it in your own website with the option block, this summary will appear in the feed for that social network. So if you want people to share your lesson on social media, you definitely want to include a descriptive summary of your lesson. As usual, we can attach documents if we would like, but we're going to go ahead and skip that for now. Let's double check that our lesson is connected, and let's go ahead and create it. Just like that, we've created a lesson. And let's see what it looks like. Let's go to Dashboard, Community Content, and now let's go to our example program. And here is our lesson that we attached at the top level of the program. As you can see, we have our summary and our icon just as usual. And when we click on the lesson, we will see that the lesson has one part. And notice that this is the only part that is required. When you make your lesson part name, that's what appears in this menu on the left. Notice also that we turned off comments for this lesson, and so the student looking at this really doesn't have much to see. But those are the basics of a lesson. So in the next few lessons, we're going to go through all of the different things we can add to our lesson.